This video explains how to train the Phil Tyreman way. We begin with a warning. Before you do anything, you must consult with a qualified medical professional if you have any concerns about your health. Then you must do as they tell you, even if they tell you not to train. It also goes without saying that you must never do any exercise that causes you pain, and you must seek help from a qualified fitness professional for advice on proper exercise form if you even suspect that you need it. This is not performative backside covering. Truly, if I had consistently followed my own advice in this regard, I would not be suffering with half the aches, pains, and lost potential that plague me to this very day. Now to training. You are to lift weights twice per week. Use full body workouts because these are best for the natural lifter. Your routine must include one of each of the following movement patterns. A squat, so a back squat or a front squat, for example. A hinge, so these are deadlift variations, good mornings, and so on. Vertical press, so overhead presses of some description. A vertical pull, chin-ups, pullovers. Horizontal press, which is bench press, incline bench presses and similar to that. Horizontal pull, which are things like rows, plus a biceps movement, so curls. Triceps movement, things like ropes push down. Abs, sit-ups, calves, something like calf raises. There is no best order to complete the lifts. In my experience, most people prefer to squat and hinge early in the workout, having them as the first and second or second and third movements to hit them while fresh and also to simply get them out of the way. I used to be among those people, training the squat and hinge after whatever vertical press I was doing that day. However, squatting and hinging late after you've done everything apart from abs and calves is also fine, and was in fact the order favoured by the great Steve Reeves according to my research. The logic here is that tired legs will have more of a negative impact on your upper body movements than a tired upper body will have on your leg movements. This is something I've been doing for about the last 6 months, and it has been very, very good. But, as I said, either approach is fine, so just pick an order that makes sense to you and the environment that you are training in. For the lifts themselves, barbell variations are best where applicable and provided you can manage them. That said, you will most likely be best off with a routine containing a mixture of barbell, dumbbell, and machine work. There is no optimal ratio here. It all hinges on your fitness and preferences, so you'll have to experiment and expect things to change over time as you learn and grow. 2 working sets of each exercise is the way forward in my opinion. Take as many warm-up sets, and by that I mean lighter sets, as you feel you need, and never, ever, ever tackle a working set of any exercise until you are certain that you are ready to go. Sets of 8 to 12 reps work best on a generalist program such as this. My rationale is that it stops you from going too heavy, risking needless injury, and also keeps the workout time manageable, as you don't need an age to recover between sets, as is often the case with lower reps. When you hit 12 reps on both work sets, bump the weight by the smallest possible increment, which is going to be 2.5 kilograms or 1.25 kilograms per side with barbells, almost always. One plate on the stack with machines, and the next size up in dumbbell. To find your starting weight, the first time you do a given exercise, start with the bar and do progressively heavier sets of 12 until the bar slows down slightly on the 12th rep. This is your starting load. The reason we do this is to make sure that you have plenty of room to progress before stalling. If you are using machines, the same principle applies. Start with the lightest weight that you can find and slowly increase the weight until it slows down on the 12th rep. And again, the same with dumbbells. Start with a very light pair of dumbbells, go up the rack slowly, one pair at a time, until you reach a set where the dumbbells slow down on the 12th rep. Moving forwards in your training, always leave a rep or two in the tank. The great Reg Park, who is a champion natural bodybuilder, mentor to Arnold Schwarzenegger and first man to bench press 500 pounds, avoided training to muscular failure where possible, believing missing lifts causes confidence to fall in trainees, and I agree with this assessment. Lastly, don't use lifting straps for rows, pull downs or deadlifts. You will deprive yourself of the ability to develop a strong grip if you wear them, and a strong grip is important for sustained progress in the gym. Not wearing straps also ensures you are only using weights that you can safely handle. That's lifting, but it's not everything, because you must also do conditioning twice per week. Conditioning is any type of cardio that gets your heart and breathing rates up and keeps them there. This includes, but is not limited to, cycling, running, or sprinting. What you do is far less important than actually getting on and doing it. Keep in mind that conditioning is done first and foremost to make you a better lifter. A strong heart and lungs will aid you greatly in the weight room by helping you keep your rest periods down, which enables you to do more work in less time, a great driver of muscle and strength gains. Moreover, it toughens the body in general, which will make you more resistant to injury. So, add time and or distance conservatively. You may find that you quickly reach an amount of conditioning that provides the desired result, which is keeping the belly at bay and your lifting sessions efficient, and have no desire to do more. This is fine. I get by with a couple of 2 to 2.5 mile runs per week. More just makes my joints angry without contributing anything positive. Never push yourself to the point of feeling unwell, and truth be told, if it takes you more than a minute or two to feel somewhat normal again after conditioning work, you're going too hard and would do well to back off. You are to warm up and cool down before and after every lifting and conditioning session, no exceptions. If you don't think you have the time to do a warm-up and a cool-down, you don't have time to train. Here is what I favour. My warm-up the Phil Tyreman way, which consists of a 5-minute walk, followed by a good stretch of the triceps, biceps, shoulders, upper back, hips, hamstrings, quads, and calves, and then 5 jumps, static or long, the choice is yours. And when I finish training, I cool down the Phil Tyreman way, which consists of a good stretch of the triceps, biceps, shoulders, upper back, hips, hamstrings, quads and calves, followed by a 5-minute walk or thereabouts. If it is not obvious from what I have just said, I am fond of basic stretches. They're not at all fashionable these days. Regardless, they bring manifold and wonderful benefits, most notably by improving flexibility, which allows for more pain-free muscle extension, facilitating greater range of motion in your lifts, better running, sprinting, cycling form, and having an easier time moving around in general, which is especially important for people who spend a lot of time sitting at a desk for work. The basic stretches you learned at school are sufficient. Walking to and from the gym is ideal, by the way, but if you can't for whatever reason, get on the treadmill for at least 5 minutes before and after lifting, take a walk or a slow cycle if applicable before you start your conditioning and after you are done. Finally, some concluding thoughts. Be prepared for it to take many months before you see changes you are happy with, and many years before you reach the ideal outcome you hold in your mind about what training will give you, whether that's looks, performance, and or intangible things like being a better husband, father, wife, or mother. You are best off plugging away at the basics until you are respectably strong, muscular, and fit. After that, more advanced methodologies may have something to offer, or you may be happy maintaining with little fuss or hassle. You do not have to do things my way forever, but if you do decide you fancy a change, stick to what is proven to work for people at your level of experience who don't take steroids or other performance-enhancing drugs. I hope you found all of this useful. See below for more information about working with me.